guys and gals, non-binary, and all walks of life. Welcome to, or welcome back to my channel. I am so glad to be here today because today's video is going to be a little bit different than the regular reaction videos that I post. Today I want to get personal with you guys and discuss mental health. Because my channel, I want to be completely transparent, open, and have all of us understand one another and be there for one another when needed. And so my comment section is a safe place as well. But I also want to say that the discussion we will be having today might be a trigger to people. So trigger warning, we will be discussing mental health issues, okay? Now, I've been diagnosed with BPD, which is borderline personality disorder. And like you might think that that's similar to DID, which is dissociative identity disorder, but it is not. Borderline personality disorder is a condition mentally that they say on the internet, when you look it up for the definition, which I will show here in a second, that the cause is unknown, but my doctor specifically told me that the cause is from trauma, extreme trauma in your childhood or young adult life. Then in adult life, you cope in different ways than other people do. So they call it borderline personality disorder, because also you'll have like outbursts. You can't control your emotions. It affects your relationships with people. It is really, really hard to deal with. But you know, for me, I am on a medication for my depression that also kind of helps my my issues with BPD, but I still struggle every day. And the only thing that they can really do for you, since it's not a chemical imbalance, is to like do therapy. They have like, I think it's like DBT therapy or something like that. I'll show that on the screen as well. But it's just unstable moods, unstable behavior, because you were forced to deal with so much trauma as a child or young adult, like I said. So, you know, when I was younger, my mom, because like all of my childhood from 5 until like 5 or 6, my dad was very abusive to my mother. So that's why I want to put a trigger warning up, because I'm going to be talking about like domestic violence and things like that. And some people might not want to watch this video. So if it triggers you in any way, please feel free to click off the video. I understand. But with that being said, I dealt with that as a very, very young child. All through that until 5 or 6 years old, my dad was very, very violent to my mother. Then I moved with my mom and my stepdad after she left my dad, and we had a quiet life. It was great. My childhood through my grade school years was actually not too bad. But then I moved in with my sister because she convinced my mom that she needed help with babysitting, because she has two daughters, my nieces. So, you know, I love my nieces, so I was like, cool. But it ended up not being cool, because there ended up being a lot of drug use, a lot of alcohol use, and a lot of physical violence between my sister and her ex-boyfriend. So I had to witness that. And then also the responsibility of the 2 girls was put on me, because she was doing drugs. She was dealing with so much with everything that she ended up leaving the full responsibility of her daughters to me. And I was only 15 going on 16 years old. By the time I was 16 and a half, dealing with all of that for so long, I ended up going to the payphone. Now, look, I know I'm old enough where I used a payphone. Don't say anything. Okay, anyway, I used the payphone to call my mom, and I told her everything that was going on there. I couldn't take it anymore. You know, my sister was coming home on drugs. I caught her doing very disgusting things for it as well. And you know, it was really terribly affecting me. So with that being said too, I called my mom. Like I said, my mom ended up calling the social workers and found out that they said to her, go pick up the girls and your daughter and take them home, and we will investigate from there. Okay. So that's exactly what my mom did. It ended up being that my nieces had to be taken away from my sister, which I figured would happen anyways. And since then, she just recently passed away, my sister did. But since then, she always treated me horribly because she felt like I was the reason that she had her kids taken away, which basically I was. But it was just so terrible of an environment. There was no way I could keep on and keep allowing my nieces to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it wasn't good. So, anyways, my mom picked us up and she brought us home, and it was a tiny 2-bedroom apartment with now 2 young girls, and myself, who was 16 and a half, and my mom. And I met my now fiance when I lived with my sister, though. So there's always a reason for things that happen in your life, right? Even if you go through a lot of shit, some of it you can think of as a blessing, I suppose. I guess that's just me trying to be positive about the situation. But anyways, I kind of felt out of place, so I was going in and out of the house all the time, and I was like visiting my friends because I felt bad for my mom. She was dealing with so much with the girls, and I was trying to help her, but at the same time, it was just a lot. They ended up saving and getting their credit right and buying a house, and I moved in there with them as well, which I had my own room and everything like that. But my ex-husband I met at a party while we were living there, and I ended up being severely abused for years by this man. I didn't know that would happen right at first because he was so nice in the beginning. And then it was like, as soon as we got married, boom, it was a completely different person. And him, in his mind, he wanted to keep me barefoot and pregnant, which I feel like was just... But anyways, I ended up having 4 children with him. But he did end up killing me almost a few times, and he kicked me in the stomach 7 times when I was pregnant with my daughter, 7 months pregnant. There was boot print bruises on my stomach, in fact. And I ended up leaving him when my twins were about 1 year old. I ended up leaving him because he ended up going to jail for physical violence towards me. I actually became friends with a lot of the cops in the area because I was doing criminal justice studies myself, and he didn't like that very much because they were always willing to come to my aid immediately, which was very nice. But the trauma from my sister and everything else, and my mom and dad, had already been setting in and already destroying my person or my brain. So then I accepted the abuse from my ex-husband for so long because it felt normal. You know what I mean? And so I finally got out, which anybody dealing with domestic violence issues, please, there are ways to get out. I did it. I know it's hard because you feel like you have nothing. You're not gonna, you can't leave because you don't have money, or you're not doing the finances. So how could you leave? You can find ways, and put it in the comments if you're dealing with it and you need help, and I will provide you with the information. I will also put it on screen here, and I just want, anybody dealing, men, women, whatever, because men can experience domestic violence as well, believe it or not. A lot of people like to say, oh no, men, be a man, stand up. No, men can experience it too, and men have every right to, express that they need help. Okay. And anyways, I ended up leaving him, and I got an apartment on my own. I did everything on my own with my kids. I was a single mom, went through the whole bit, ended up finding my boyfriend from back in the day when I was living with my sister, and now we are engaged. So that's that story. But back to the BPD. Okay. When he put me in the hospital, I ended up having a placental abruption. It was just a lot of abuse. So, it's caused, and as when our brains are developing, we soak up what we see. We soak up what our environment is, and violence towards people we love or ourselves makes us defensive and almost feeling helpless all the time. And that's what BPD is that you feel that helpless feeling all the time. And you feel that negative feeling all the time, like, do these people really want me around? It factors in so much. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I also have ADD. ADD, everybody knows what that is. I'm sure you know what that is. I can't remember shit. I start projects and never finish them. I start cleaning and I never, I'll start projects cleaning and I never finish them. And I have like all this started all over the house to clean and I have to go back and finish it all. I need a damn drink. Okay. So also with the ADD, I have severe anxiety, and I will tell you I hate it because I get anxiety over getting anxiety. Because I'll be like, oh yeah, I know I'm going to get anxiety over that. So you know what? I'm going to have anxiety because I know I'm going to get anxiety later. What the hell is that? I don't understand why the only medications that help, that the doctors say that help, are the benzo medications. I can't take them. So I'm stuck with like weird concoctions the doctors come up with to try to help my anxiety. And it's just, I don't know. I kind of give up on it because I feel like, you know what? I've been dealing with this for so fucking long and doctors are trying to help now and it really isn't doing anything. So I'm just going to continue to deal with it. You know what I mean? So, that's another issue that I have going on. But I also have depression. Depression is common among people, especially like, what do they call it? Seasonal depression. That's a big one. And by all means, please, I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. I am just telling you what I have been diagnosed with because I want you to feel comfortable here. And I want you to know that nothing in the world is going to make me or anyone else here judge you. Okay, with that being said, let's continue. They do have me on a good medication for my depression, but, I hope that everybody here knows that I wanted to make this video to prove to you that you're not alone. Mental illness is very common. Everybody has something different, but mental illness is not something to be ashamed of. In fact, this comment section on this video and all my videos, I want to be a safe place for people to come, express their feelings, tell their story, and I would love to read them. So feel free, go ahead and fill the comments with what you have going on with yourself. Maybe if you need help, I can assist you with that. Anything of the sort. I just want my audience, my family, my community to know that I too suffer with all of these things and that I understand. And that's one thing I want to implement in this video and all my videos is that I strive to understand everyone and everything that goes on, because if we don't fully understand, we cannot judge. And I refuse to judge anybody for anything. In fact, I have the most empathy for people with, I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say, but feel free to tell your story. I would love to hear everyone's stories. Let's understand one another. Understanding is key to, a lot of things in life. Love yourself, be yourself, and remember, just don't be an asshole. That's all. Anyways, I love you guys, and I hope my transparency helps you understand who I really am.